All right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome, participants, and also our speakers this morning. Welcome to Immersion webinar for grade 12 students. We are very happy for you have responded to our call for this webinar session. Okay, so to start our webinar session this morning, let us have our prayer and also the singing of the national anthem to be given to us by the University of Mindanao Coral.
Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a harmful sound we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We want moving mountains long before we knew it grew. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to give. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe somehow you in this time of fear and prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like the summer voices lifting, float away. Yet now I'm standing here, my heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd
kayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit ng bagha, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng wala di pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Alright, again, good morning everyone and welcome to Immersion webinar for grade 12 students. Right, the University of Mindanao conducted this webinar session for Immersion program of senior high school. This webinar series covers the key learning areas of Immersion programs such as writing a winning cover letter and resume, how to ace the interview, work ethics, social media etiquette, career opportunities, and criminal habits. And this morning, you'll be focusing on teacher education. Intended for those who would like to pursue of becoming a teacher someday. So we have different speakers who would like to give information to you participants with regards to this program, of course, teacher education. But before that, let us just welcome all our participants all over Davao region and also Soxer Gen. So let me recognize dito sa ating Zoom. We have from Federico Yap National High School. We also have from Jose Maria College. So good morning and welcome to our Zoom webinar. Now we are also live on YouTube. For those students who have friends and also classmates that would like to join our webinar this morning, you can send the link of this webinar and even also the link of our YouTube channel. Andun tayo, we are live there. And we have students from different school. We have from University of Mindanao, Maine. We also have from Tacorong, Siloam, ABC Learning Center Incorporated, Book National High School, the Yap National High School, and yun. Those I also Holy Cross of Mintal. Okay, again, welcome to our immersion webinar. Right. So if you have your questions as we go along with our presentation this morning, you can use our Q&A because sa Zoom and also sa YouTube, you can use the chat box for your questions. All right. And you can also join. Later we have online quizzes. Wherein we will give prizes for those students or participants who will be on the top 5. So get excited as we will continue our immersion program this morning. I believe everyone is now excited. So let's get started with our first presentation or discussion this morning. We know grade 12 students you would like to pursue college, but also others are also planning to have their work while having their pursuance of their college. So we would like to give tips on with regards to pre-employment requirements. And to give those tips for you guys, have here our speaker, the Vice President for External Relations and International Affairs of the University of Mindanao, Dr. Rinaldo C. Castro. Virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much, Benji. Welcome to our senior high school students, to our remote virtual immersion program today. We're glad that you have participated. This is our last batch of our series of immersion program. For those of you who wants to watch our previous videos, as mentioned by Benji, you can watch them in our YouTube channel, University of Mindanao. And I have a presumption that those who are present today are interested to enroll in teacher education, those who wish to enroll teacher education, and most probably are from UMS. Tama ba ako, no? And that's why you are attending this session. After my talk, we have faculty members from the College of Teacher Education, and we know that in the University of Mindanao, our College of Teacher Education is the top producer of top notchers, no, in the board exam. And in fact, our speakers are top notchers themselves, no. So you will learn from them. That's why I encourage you to listen to them, no, carefully. Okay, my topic will be about one is writing an application letter and resume, because these two are important when you apply for jobs and even when you, for example, proceed to college. No, my other topic is about facing a job interview. Some tips I will be giving you on how to face the job interview, and third, some social media etiquette. For the first topic, I have prepared a video presentation. Let's watch this. Hi to all our students in CAID 500 and welcome to our second video. Today we are going to talk about two important things in your CAID 500 and in your application process. Writing a cover letter, or popularly known as application letter and resume. First, why write a cover letter? I'd like to cite three reasons. First is that because you have earned a formal education, a formal baccalaureate degree, you need to show to your potential employer that you can write and that you can communicate well. That's why you have to write an application letter or a cover letter. Second is that you have to highlight your particular skills, your past work history, or other areas that are specific to the job that you are applying. You have to think of it as a quick sales pitch. And third reason is that you have to set yourself apart from the competition. Remember this, in one position, there's a dozen or two of you applying for that position. And therefore, the first level of assessment of your potential employer is your application letter. So, how are you going to write a winning cover letter? These are our tips. First, you have to write there the date. Don't forget the date. And when you are going to write your application letter, you are going to follow the American English style. So you start with the date, for example, September 10, 2020, not 10 September 2020. The next one is that you have to write the name of the addressee. Maybe the HR manager or the president of the organization. If you don't have any idea of the name of the HR manager or to whom you're going to address the letter, then you have to exert extra effort. You can visit the company, you can give them a call, and ask from them to whom you can address your application letter. If you're going to visit the company, then tell the HR office. Normally, you have to proceed to the HR office and ask the people there in the HR that you're interested to submit an application letter, and you're going to inquire from them to whom you're going to address the letter. So get the complete name, the exact position of the person, and of course the name of the company and the address. So that's how you're going to do it. For example, you have Miss Joanne T. Santos, HR manager. Oops, you also have to make it sure that Joanne Santos is the HR manager, because she might be the VP for HR, and by writing there HR manager, you have demoted the person. So it's already a demerit in your part. So you have to make it sure what's the exact position of the person. So let's go back to that. Miss Joanne T. Santos, HR manager, XYZ Corporation, Ponciano Street, Davao City. That's it. And then you have the opening. You say, Miss Santos, colon. Do not write Dear Miss Santos, because remember that your application letter is a formal style of communication, and writing the word Dear Miss Santos reduces the formality of your communication unless you are very close to that person. So you write there, Miss Santos colon. In your first paragraph, you have to mention how did you get to know about the information of the position, whether you get the information from a friend or somebody who's working in the organization, or maybe you have read that somewhere in the local paper, then you can cite that in your first paragraph and your interest of applying for the position. So for example, you would say, I've read in the local paper, Mindanao Times, dated September 4, 2020, that your company is in need of accounting staff. I wish to apply for the position. Alright? So you have there the information and your interest. Why is it's important that you cite the information? Because it's also significant to the company whether the promotion that they have had is working for them. And it's giving them an output. It's giving them effective promotion of their job opening. The second paragraph of your application letter, you can write there your experience. Two things, no? One is your work experience related to the position that you are applying. And second, what are the attributes, work attributes that you possess which you think are significant in the performance of the function. And in the third paragraph of your application letter, you can write there, you can open doors for further meet and greet of the HR or of the interviewer, because you cannot tell everything in your resume and in your application letter. So you can say there that I wish to share more of my qualifications at your most convenient time. I can be reached at your contact number or your email address. And then you can close the letter by saying sincerely or respectfully yours. I suggest do not write very truly yours, because Tagalog mo yung very truly yours, ako iyong buong buo, no? It's not very formal. Again, I'd like to remind you that your application letter is a formal style of communication. So after closing, don't forget your name and then your signature. Voila! You have your winning cover letter. Last video, last discussion, we talked about how are you going to write a winning cover letter. And today, partner with your cover letter is the resume. We're going to talk about how are you going to write a winning resume. The resume is your personal brochure to market yourself. It should give your potential employer a quick view of what you can do for them. So for new graduates just like you can list your accomplishments in school. Do not worry about not having any accomplishments or work-related accomplishments. You can pick out those school accomplishments that show responsibility, reliability, cooperative spirit, and the like. That's why you have to make the most of your experience while you are still in the university. You can cite those experiences that you have with extra and co-curricular activities, your membership to various academic or non-academic student organizations. So what are the suggested format or tips in writing your resume? This is how are you going to do it. You start, of course, with the most important thing, followed by with the less important, and so on and so forth. So what you can start is you write your name, your full name, your address. You have to be specific in your address. You have to write there the street, house number, purok, and barangay. Why you have to be specific in your address? Because these potential companies of yours, they're going to make a background investigation, and one way of doing that is to visit your barangay or your residence. They're going to talk to your purok leader or to your barangay leaders, no? What are your participations, or are you really residents of that area? Then after you address, another important information that you have to provide there in your resume are your contact number and your email address. These two are important, especially in giving you feedback on the status of your application. And, you know, your companies, potential companies, they don't believe that you don't have any email address or contact number, because we are in a generation of technology. So you really have to make sure that you have a functional email address and your contact number is really yours. The next one is you have to write a summary statement. A summary statement is a gist of who you are in terms of your potential to the company, in terms of what you can contribute to the company, in terms of your competence, whether you can perform to the function or not. So, two things. When you're going to write your summary statement, let's go back to the second paragraph of your application letter. I said that when you write your second paragraph in your application letter, there are two things that you are going to highlight there. One is your work-related experience, and the other one is the attributes. No? What are the attributes that you possess that are related to the performance of the function or the requirements of the position? So that's the summary statement. Later on, I'm going to show a sample summary statement. How are you going to write it? The next one is your work or school related experience, or OJT experience. Now, if you're a working student, then you can write there, but you have to make it sure that your work experience during the time that you're still in the university are related to the position or to the requirements of the company. Or your OJT experience, of course, for sure, are related to the requirements also of the potential company that you're applying to. So you have to cite that in your resume. The other one is that what are the job responsibilities that you have had in your internship or in your OJT experience? And I think it's there in your OJT manual, the manual that your OJT coordinators are giving to you during the time that you have your OJT. So you can copy those and include that in your resume, because those are specific assignments that you have had during your OJT. And the other one is your accomplishments or your recognitions or your achievements when you were here in the university. If you have, for example, participation in a community extension, because it speaks about volunteerism, it speaks about you being a team player, no? And your exposure to other staff, that during the time that you're in the university, you're not just a plain student, but you also engage yourself to other or various or related activities that can at least bolster your experience, your qualification, and your competence. The last one is, of course, your education. So you see there's nothing there in your resume. You do not put anything that are not relevant to the position that you're applying to. No? There's nothing there that asks you about height, weight, and religion. That's why when you write your resume, you have to tailor fit the content of your resume based on, number one, on your competence, on your qualifications, on the things that you possess that you can offer to the company. And second, tailor fit the content of your resume based on the requirements of the company. That's why I suggest do not buy the ready-made biodata form that you can buy in the bookstore, nor in store, because there are information that you may not be included, no, in your resume, and which are actually relevant to the position that you are applying to. So that's how you're going to write your resume. Remember this, in a gist, when you write your resume, 7 things that you have to remember, or you have to make it sure that these 7 things are there in your resume. Number 1, what can you do for me? When you write your resume, when you prepare your resume, you have to make it sure that this question is being answered in the content and substance of your resume. Second, do you have the skills I'm looking for? Third, where have you worked before? It's also important that you have to cite your work experience, the company that you had, your internship, your OJT, because aside from it was an opportunity for you to apply the learnings that you have learned from the university, for sure your work or internship experience have developed you some have improved your soft skills, some of your soft skills, like for example work attitude skills, the ability for you to follow deadlines and instructions from the company, like wearing proper uniform, wearing an ID, coming to work on time, following the rules and regulations of the company. Those are very important stuff, although sometimes we said that those are simple stuff, but those are very relevant stuff. Number 4, is your experience relevant to my needs? Number 5, do you have the right education and credentials? So you see, question number 4 and question number 5 are related to each other, which means that whether you have this experience or education and you're applying to a position that's quite different from the training and the experience that you have, you know, give that to those people who have the relevant experience and training. Question number 6, what kind of person you are. So it's important that you also have to highlight your soft skills, your personal attributes. And last but not the least, where can I contact you? I overly emphasize the relevance of your email address and your contact number because, as I said, that whenever there's a need for you to report immediately or submit additional assigned documents or papers relevant to your application, this is the fastest way of the company telling you about those stuff. So I hope that with that information, you can start writing your resume. All right, there you have it. You have learned the importance of writing an application letter and resume. The purpose of writing your resume is not for you to get the job, but the importance of which is for you to get an interview. Now, you will not be hired by the company because of what you have written in your resume, but you will receive a call for you to proceed to the next stage, which is the interview, if you have written a sufficient and impressive resume. Now, this time, let's proceed to the next topic, which is how are you going to ace in the job interview? Let me share my screen. Okay. Sige. So, I'll go straight to interview. Right. All right. So after your resume, the next is the interview. And if the purpose of the resume is for you to get an interview, the purpose of the interview is for you to get the job. Even if, remember this, senior high students, even if you are the most qualified, the most competent applicant, but your interview performance does not speak well of your qualification and of your competence, and there are other applicants who are much better, no, in the interview, even if they are not the most qualified, there is a possibility that that other applicant will be hired, no, will be chosen. So just like for example in a beauty contest, no, like Miss World and Miss Universe competition, if you have noticed that the final presentation, the final round of the competition is the question and answer. And that's where the judges select who deserves the crown. No? Okay. So that's the interview. That's the importance of the interview. And preparation is half the battle. It says here, you have to prepare for you to be confident, no, in facing the job interview. You have to anticipate what are the questions to be raised, what are the potential answers that you may share, no, to the interviewer. And why is it that the interview is the deciding factor, the basis of the hiring officer to select, no, who among the applicants are the most deserving to perform the job? Because it says here that the how candidates behave during the interview is often seen as an indicator of how they will perform, no? So your verbal and your non-verbal communication, how you respond to questions, it will give an impression, no? It will give a better gauge, a better idea of to the interviewer of whether you are capable to perform the job. The better prepared you are, the less nervous you will feel and the more confident you will appear. So the key word there is confidence. If you are confident, there will be an impression that you are capable. You know how to perform the job. All right. You are ready for the position. You have studied well, no? The requirements of the position, the expectations of the job. All right. So, importante doon, spontaneous ka, no? May maisagot ka, marunong ka magsagot. All right. The more you know about the purpose of the interview and the organization, the better you respond to the question. So, importante, alamin mo kung ano ang organization, ang kanilang vision and mission, alright? Ano ang kanilang product or service because you want to be part of the organization. And if I am the interviewer, I am interested to know whether you have a prior knowledge, whether you have done initial research about my company, about my organization. So generally, during job interview, there are only three things, no? Three major things or three generic things that the interviewer will ask from you. Number one, questions about can you do the job, no? Questions relating to your skills, your talents, your competencies, and your abilities. If there's a need for you to perform an equipment, use an equipment, or if there's a need for you to write or to speak a lot, like for example, if you're a teacher, future teacher, so the thing there is that you need to have the ability to speak, to understand children, to understand students, diba? Coach them. The question there is that do you possess all those? All right. Second is, will you do the job? So if you are competent, if you have the skills, the abilities, the talents, the next question is, are you interested? Are you motivated? Do you have the right values to work? That's why sometimes the question will be about, okay, we can hire you, but the thing there is that sometimes we ask our staff to work overtime. We ask them to work during weekends or sometimes during holidays. Are you willing to do that? Or if we're going to hire you, there is a need for you to transfer your residence or stay somewhere, outside from your residence, outside from your place. Are you willing to move out? Something like that. All right. The third is about fitness. Your fitness to the organization and its culture. All right. So when you say fitness to the organization and its culture, it refers to your interpersonal skills, your adaptability, and your positive work attitude. Okay. So some sample questions or common job interview questions during your interview process is that basic, no? Tell me something about yourself or you introduce yourself. Can you introduce yourself or can you tell us something that we need to know about you? All right. Okay. So why this question is being asked? Because the interviewer doesn't like to know about your personal life, no, your parents, your siblings, your teachers, no. They're not interested of knowing that. They are interested of knowing your strengths, your experience related to the position, your exposure, all right? What are your accomplishments, no? What are your capabilities? What are you capable of doing based on the requirement of the position? So you respond using those tips that I gave you, all right? Second is, what do you know about our organization? Why do you want to work in our company, all right? Or why do you want to work in this position? It's just like, why if you enroll in the University of Mindanao, there will be questions like that, no? Why you enroll in UM? Or why you take up education, major in, for example, English, or major in math, major in biology, no? Why? What gives you the interest? What prod you, no? What push you? What encourage you to take up that? So the same thing, you have to look for matches. You have to look for characteristics that match your interest to that organization. So you look at, as I said, why is this organization, I like this, no, I like to be part in this organization, why I want to enroll in this university. There must be something about in this university that attracts me, that matches with my personality, or there are many similarities, there are characteristics that are similar to my characteristics or to my interests, diba? Okay. So like for example, ako, why I'm here in UM, because there are philosophy statement, and there are mission, no, there are culture and practices of the University of Mindanao that I like, no, and I'm comfortable with. That's why I'm here in the University of Mindanao. All right. What is your greatest weakness? So sasabihin ninyo, sir, you have been telling us, no, that you have to be proud and we have to share our strengths, and then why is it that the interviewer is asking for our weakness? What is the importance of that? All right, well, the interviewer is not really interested of knowing your weakness per se, but let's accept the fact that we are not perfect. No one is perfect, and the interviewer wants to know whether you have acknowledged that reality, okay, that you are not perfect, and second, that you have your weakness, and share what is your weakness, and third, very important part of your answer for that question is how you turn that weakness into something positive, or how you were able to develop a positive attitude out from that weakness. You know what I mean? You do not allow that weakness to be still a weakness, no, to be still, to still be there in your system. Like for example, ako, ang weakness ko is I'm an impatient person, no. Wala, dili ko pasensyoso, and that's why you cannot let me wait, no, you cannot stuck me somewhere else, no. Like for example, ako, I don't like to be stuck in a traffic. If I travel from my house going to the office, and if I'm stuck in a traffic, it will ruin my entire day, it will destroy my mood, and it will affect my productivity, no. So what I'm doing is that I wake up early, I travel from my house early, no, going to the office, and avoid traffic, and I end my day very productive because hindi nasira ang aking araw dahil naipit ako sa traffic, no. And I don't usually travel during lunchtime or afternoon. But if I do that, at least hindi na siya in the morning, no? So, ang point ko doon is that na-realize ko kung ano ang weakness ko at ginawaan ko siya ng paraan para ma-overcome ko, no? Okay? Do you have any question? All right. Remember, senior high school students, if you're in an interview is a form of conversation, and you should not let the interview, especially job interview, finish without you asking any question at all. Because it seems that if you are not asking any question, it seems that you are not interested. Okay. So, what potential question you may ask during job interview? Probably you can ask the interviewer after the interview how long you can do a follow-up, no? Because you are really interested and you want to make a follow-up. Hindi pwede i-ghost ka na lang, no? Kasi uso na ba ang ghosting, no? Hindi pwede yon na after the interview, wala ka man lang feedback whether natanggap ka ba or hindi ka ba natanggap, no? So you may exert extra effort by calling the company, no? And asking them about the status of your application. Or you may also ask, how long is the honeymoon period, no, for newly hires? Because we expect that if you are a newly hired employee in the company, there's an allowance for some mistake and some coaching, no. You cannot expect newly hired to be perfect and to be knowledgeable right away in all the expectations and in all the tasks that will be given to you. All right. Okay. What can you contribute most to our organization? Sasabihin, hala, naadi amutan kay contribute man. Ara ba mi kabalo kay nag-apply gali mig trabaho kay why ngita mi og, 'di ba? Kwarta tapos mag-amot di I know it's not like that, you know. Why this question is being asked? Because again, the interviewer wants to know about your experience, your accomplishments, and your characteristics which are relevant to the performance of the job. Okay? So I hope that senior high school students, you learn something from that tips when you're in a job interview. Now, I'm sharing this. There's a survey done to the HR. No, HR people are the responsible in conducting an interview to applicants. No, and they were asked what are some of the common interview mistakes made by applicants. And I'm sharing this to you so that you'll take note of this and avoid this once you are in a job interview. One is answering cell phone or texting. So if you're in a job interview, don't do that. No, you switch off your cell phone or you turn your phone into silent mode. Kasi ano yan insulting yan. Kahit may date kayo, kahit nagsama kayo ng inyong mga friends, nag-uusap kayo and someone may kasamahan kayo, nagti-text, palagi nakatuplok-tuplok ng kanyang phone, it's not good. It's insulting, no? Nai-insult. Ako, I felt insulted in that, ha? Kasi it seems that my presence is not important. Okay? Dressing inappropriately. So you have to dress well. You have to show to the company that you are ready for the job. And by showing that, you have to dress yourself properly. Okay? Appearing disinterested, kaya ka nga nag-apply dahil interesado ka tapos wala ka pa kalutay-lutay, no? It looks like you have not taken your breakfast, no? You have not sleep well, all right? So dapat ano ka, no? Energetic ka, excited ka, no? Appearing arrogant. So hindi ka din dapat hambugiro, all right? Appearing unprepared, chewing gum. Sometimes we understand why applicant do this because the applicant is anxious, the applicant is so tense, but you are showing an obvious thing, no? Ang gusto nga natin dapat confident ka, di ba? Ngayon, pinapakita mo na hindi ka confident, natitense ka. Second is that mura ka kanding, no? Nag-ausap-usap ng gum. So, don't do that. Not providing specific answers. Remember, senior high school students, that job interview is not a beauty contest interview. No, that in the beauty contest you're only given 40 seconds. In a job interview, you have more than that. You even have like 2 minutes to respond to each question. No? So the point there is that when you respond, you have to give specific example, no, or situation. Like for example, kung tanungin ka, if you are an animal, what animal would you want to be? Tapos sasabihin mo, I want to be bird. Why? Because bird can fly and I want to travel places. Okay, so you have example there, you have explanation, but what is the relevance of flying and traveling places to the requirement of the position? Is it a requirement in the position to travel? So you make connection of your answer, no, to the expectations, to the skills, to the competencies required from the position, right? And last, not asking good questions. Okay? So, mag-wonder ka, bakit hindi ka natanggap? Ayan sabi dito, di ba, you're not asking good questions. So, my impression if I am the interviewer and you're not asking good questions, that my impression is that you're not really interested to you're not really interested for the position and to be part of our company. Okay? All right. Last topic that I have here, social media etiquette. Why is it this topic is important? No, why is it that I have to share this to you? Because especially if you are a strong candidate and the company is really planning to hire you, to consider you, no, for the position, what they will do is that they will do background investigation. They want to know more about you, about your personality, about your characteristics, about your attitude. And one way of doing that is through your social media posts. So that's why you have to be careful. First up in the list is do not write negative posts, no? Because may problema ka sa PLDT, may problema ka sa water district or sa Globe, no? Galit ka kasi walang connection, walang tubig. Alam naman nila yon na may problema. You don't need to post that, all right? Because if you're doing that, no, you keep on ranting, no? You keep on sharing your unsatisfaction, things that you don't like, things that makes you unhappy, it will give an impression that reklamador ka na tao, no? And if we're going to hire you, if the company will hire you, and even small things na makita nimo sa organization, mag-complain ka na agad, di ba? So, hindi magandang impression yon, all right? Second, ungrammatical posts or use of derogatory language. Yung first, ungrammatical posts, it will give an impression that you are careless, no? And second, that I have an expectation on you because nakapagtapos ka ng pag-aaral and therefore you can construct well, no? Your constructions are grammatical, correct, no? And you have choice of words, all right? You are not going to use, do not use mga words that are so bad and that are so, you know, will not give you good impression at all, right? Ayan o, yung mga ngi, bitter, pahawa, o, di ba? Mga walay klaro, basta mga bad words, no? Because it does not reflect the expectation about you as an educated individual. So if you are not sure of what you are going to post, whether there are derogatory language in your posts, then you ask somebody to check, no, the draft of your posts, no, of your construction. And third, make your posts all about you. Do not post ang lahat ng post mo, lahat na lang about you, no, la food mo, yung OOTD mo, no, yung TikTok mo, yung ganon. I mean, all about you, no. Ang nangyari sa iyo for the day, lahat-lahat na lang. Nakapag-beach ka, saan ka napunta. I mean, you know, it's a social media. And therefore, it's nice that you also share something that's social relevant, no? Something about social issue. Like, nakapagpanood ka ng series, no? Na may napanood ka and it's worth reviewing. Then, magsulat ka ng review mo. Or nakapagtapos ka ng isang book na basa mo, no? Then, share that and say something about that book, alright? Or meron kang isang political or issue na dapat i-discuss, i-discuss mo yan. Alright? Because if all your posts are all about you, then it will give again an impression that ikaw yung taong gustong palagi nasa spotlight, no? And it's dangerous. Alright? So I think that's all senior high school students, and please continue to follow us in our Facebook, no, and in our YouTube channel. We will be having an orientation for those who are interested to enroll in the University of Mindanao. Just enlist yourself. The link is posted in our Facebook page. No, after my talk, there will be game. No, so stay stuck and. My advanced congratulations to our senior high school students. Keep safe always, no, and always pray that we will get through this, no, we will get through what we have right now. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you very much, Sir Ray. Those were our topics, no, for pre-employment requirements. So this time, students, participants, please go to menti.com, write your name and also your school, and use the code 46280879. All right, so we're waiting, no, for our student. Before, no, we will go to our quiz. We would like to recognize, no, our participants who joined. No, Federico Yap National High School, Holy Cross of Bictal, Jose Maria College, University of Mindanao, Maine. Yeah, meron na tayo from Tugok National High School. We also have St. Mary's College of Agbo. So please join our quiz. So prizes will be given to you guys. Yung top 5. Top 5 natin. So we need more players pa. Naman pwede na isa lang yung mag-join. Okay. Please, at least 6 players. Yan. Ask me. Come on. We have paid, no, dito sa ano natin. So I think we just have to wait, no, for our students na nasa YouTube. So somehow meron delay, no, sa ano natin. Last two players, come on. You can go to mentee.com, write your name and also the school. You can use the code 4628 Yeah, last one. Wala pa doon. Yan. Last one, last player. Yan. Okay, let's start our game. Alright. Answer fast to get more points. Here's the first question. How long is the ideal resume? Right, 15 seconds to answer. Tap your answer. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Alright. Okay, the correct answer, 1 to 2 pages. So we have 3. Tingnan natin. Ito yung top 3 natin. Alright, we have Eva, Wans, Delmina, and Pia. Okay, Elvo. Alright. Okay, let's proceed. You have 5. Answer fast to get more points. The objective of the resume is for the applicant to get hired. Is it true or false? Write your answer. Click true or false. 10 seconds. Okay, iba pwede pa humabol, guys. It's still going. 2, 1, and time is up. Okay, the correct answer is false because the objective of the resume is for the applicant to get an interview. Let's get mo na yung okay. Let's see kung sino yung nasa top 1 natin. Okay. Wansi, and then Eva, Delphia, Pia. Okay, let's proceed. Number 2 question. We have 5. Answer fast to get more points. Here's the question. The best applicant gets the job. Okay, somehow related to the second question. Is it true or false? Best applicant gets the job. Three, 2, 1, and time's up. The correct answer is A. It's false. Kasi the best interview gets the job. Ayan. Okay, let's see kung sino yung nasa leaderboard natin. Sino yung top 1. Right now, si Eva na ata. Eva na naman yung nasa top 1. Yun. Right, we still have 2 questions. Question 4 of 5. Answer fast to get more points. Which of the following should not be included in the resume? Contact number, education, or height and religion? 13 seconds to answer. Right. The correct answer is height and religion. We got the correct answer. Let's see. Leading on our leaderboard. Okay, so it's Tina. Still Eva. Alright. No. Ngayon si, once. Okay. So, we still have the last question. Kung sino yung winner natin for this round of Mentee.com. Will you do the job? It's a general question on the applicant's blank. Skills, motivation, or adaptability. 15 seconds to answer. Everyone has voted. The correct answer is motivation. Okay, can you do the job is for the skills. Will you fit the job is for adaptability, and will you do the job is for motivation. Okay. we go. Sino yung winner natin for this round? Alright, so it's Eva, and then once, and then Sophia. Okay? Screenshot, no? And then send it to galbanoy at pinindanao.edu and send link for this one. Thank you very much for your participation. Okay. There you have it then, guys. So for pre-employment requirements, that was Dr. Renado's class. This time, let us learn all the concepts and processes of teacher education, no, as being applied in real life. Okay? And to give us no more updates or information, no, with regards to teacher education best immersion practices. Together with us, no, this morning is the OJT coordinator of the College of Teacher Education, Prof. May Busbus. And also, together with us is the program head of elementary program for the College of Teacher Education, who will give us information in terms of career planning in the teaching profession. We have with us today Prof. Charmaine V. Banyes. All right, so just sit back and relax and be filled with a lot of information. Get excited for careers, for the teaching profession. Right, ma'am? Take it away.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Sir Benj. Good morning, everyone. Let me share my screen first. Okay na po ba, Sir Benj? Is it working?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet po. Okay.
Just for the information of everyone, Ma'am Yula Busbus is one of our top notchers here in the university.
How about that, sir? Okay na po ba?
Okay na po.
Kita na po ba?
Yes po, ma'am. Okay na po.
Sir Benj. Okay. Thank you so much, Sir Benj. Again, I'm May C. Busbus. I'm the OJT coordinator of the College of Teacher Education of the University of Mindanao Main Campus. Now, I will be discussing the teacher education best immersion practices, focusing on the practicum or the teaching internship. Now, a while ago, Sir or Dr. Castro discussed that you can actually include your relevant experiences during your OJT in your resume. And that's very true because one of the highlights in your college journey is actually your practicum experience or your teaching experience. And in the College of Teacher Education, we call that practicum or teaching internship. And teaching internship basically is a systematic introduction of the student teacher into the responsibilities of a full-time teacher. So definitely that's the reason why it's the highlight. No, if you are enrolled in education, the highlight of your journey really relies on the practicum or the teaching internship, because you will now experience the full responsibility of a full-time teacher, because you will be assigned to a particular school and you will have your own cooperating teacher. You will handle your own class as well. So what are the things that you're going to do if you will be deployed in a particular school during your practicum or during your teaching internship? Definitely, you will be observing classes. It would definitely depend whether your specialization is secondary or elementary level. So you will be deployed in, if you're secondary, definitely you will be deployed in high school, national high schools here in Davao City or even abroad, and in our partner schools. And for the elementary students or education students, you will be deployed in central elementary schools here in Davao City as well. It also includes actual participation in classroom activities such as preparation of lesson plan. That's very important because as a teacher, the lesson plan is your blueprint. That's your guide, right? So during your internship, you will know more about the different types or different formats of lesson plans. And at the same time, you will also be doing tests and completing forms, and of course helping in board work. That also includes classroom management, ancillary services, and community work, and of course the actual classroom teaching. So you will be standing in front of your students and discussing actually the lessons that you have. Okay, so yan yung gagawin mo when you will have your practicum. Now, the good thing about the practicum here in the University of Mindanao, in the College of Teacher Education, we are actually partnered with not just the local schools, but also the schools abroad through the CIMEO C Teacher program. So CIMEO stands for Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, and one of their programs is the C Teacher program, in which the College of Teacher Education is part of. And so we have the chance to actually accept students from our partner schools, from Indonesia, Thailand, or Vietnam, or Japan, and then and at the same time send students send students to those schools, to those partner schools in abroad. Okay, so later on you will see pictures of the students who participated during the program. During the practicum course, you are expected to demonstrate content knowledge and its application to various teaching areas. Definitely, you will know more about the content of each lesson. You will be guided using the curriculum guide on what are the things that you have to complete during your demonstration or teaching demonstration. And then at the same time, you will be able to employ different methodologies or teaching strategies, right? For you to transfer the content knowledge to your students. And then design instructional plans and assessment aligned with the learning outcomes. You will also have the chance to do that. And especially if you will be assigned abroad, that's very interesting because they also have a lot of things no, na somewhat different from the type of plans that we have here. Na ay somewhat na ay similarities, na apoy slight na differences. And at the same time, if you will be deployed locally, you will also experience the different ways on how to create your own instructional plans and how to create your own assessments. And at the same time, create not just plans and assessments, but as well as instructional resources that includes ICT to meet the learning goals. Especially now, for the past semester, we actually deployed our students in the online class. And one of the things that we included in their pre-deployment seminars is the use of different instructional resources na pwede nilang makita online, and that they can use it to their students. Okay, so yan yung isa sa mga course competencies ng practicum. Then at the same time, last but definitely not the least, no, this one is the very important among all. Although everything is important, pero I think this one should also be highlighted, to demonstrate behaviors upholding the dignity of the teaching profession. Because of course, as teachers, no, mas taas yung expectations ng society sa atin. The society has very high expectation towards all the teachers, and that's the reason why that we should know how to demonstrate good behavior and professionalism. So in that case, the practicum, one of the goals of the practicum is to develop you professionally. That includes professionalism, no, being on time, musulod sa klase on time, no, to be present in all the classes, okay, job maturity, communication skills, because of course you will be transferring the content knowledge to your students. So definitely dapat meron ka din nun, no? May good communication skills ka din. And then of course productivity, no, na lahat ng kailangan i-record, lahat ng kailangan i-check, natapos na for that day, walang ano nun, wala yung 1 month na ang nakalipas, hindi pa na check yung paper, hindi pa na sa uli sa mga estudyante yung paper. So during your practicum, you will also be developing your professional aspect, no? And that includes productivity. At the same time, leadership and of course the university core values. That includes excellence, no, in terms of creating your lesson plan, in your instructional materials, in delivering your lesson, no, dili kay basta makademo lang ko. So dili dapat ingnan ang ato ang mindset. Dapat makademo ka, at the same time you'll get a very good grade, and not just a good grade, no, kay dili lang dapat mao po na imuhang goal, but also for your students to learn from you, to actually learn from you. So kana ang ato ang main goal jud. And that's highlighted in one of the core values of the university. And that's excellence. Okay, another is honesty and integrity. Of course, no, kanang dili ta pwede namang hatag og kanang answer key, no, or key answer sa ato mga estudyante. So dili na pwede. Or dayaon mo ang imo kay kanang igagaw sa imong igagaw ang katong imong estudyante. So dili na. It's a very big no to ang kana siya, because we are actually practicing honesty and integrity. So and parang before also during before the deployment, we call this one pre-deployment seminars. Doon din i-discuss lahat ng all the things that you need to learn that will prepare you before you will be deployed, and that includes yung mga etiquettes, no, and cover doon yung honesty and integrity. Okay? And then, of course, innovation, no, na kay plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, at mahurot ang entire alphabet, no, na naakadapat. And then, you can use one tool or instructional resource, one instructional tool for this day, and then another na pud na demonstration nimo, another na pud imuhang buhatan. You innovate, no, and you look ways on how to improve your demo teaching or your demonstration. And then last is, but definitely not the least, is the teamwork. Okay, so in one school you will be deployed, no, with together with other students, together with other practicum students, and even in your cooperating teacher. So definitely you need to establish this core value. Okay, so those are the professional development aspects, no, na we need to improve with the help of the practicum or the teaching internship. Okay, so we have actually partner schools, both, I mentioned this one earlier, we have partner schools both po sa local and international. So for the local partner schools, we have DepEd schools, dito sa Davao City, no, we have for the elementary, we have SIR Elementary School, Magallanes Elementary School, and Maa Central Elementary School, Matina Central Elementary School. So we have deployed already students from those schools in the past. And another is for the secondary schools, still mga DepEd schools pa rin, mga public schools. We have Maa National High School, we have Vicenta Nograles National High School, Erico Nograles National High School, Davao City National High School. So yun yung mga partner natin na local schools. And we also, because of the CIMEO, Sea Teacher Project, we are also partnered with the international schools, most specifically in the Indonesian, in the country na Indonesia. So mga Indonesian schools sila. So we have University of Islam, Darul Ulum Lamongan, okay? Ito pa, University of Muhammadiyah Palu, Universitas Pedidikan Ganesha or Undiksha ang tawag namin sa kanya kasi 'di ba medyo mahaba yung name. Universitas Negeri Makassar, and this one is my favorite Makassar no na yung mga paingnana. And University of Muhammadiyah Purwokerto. So these are actually our partner universities in the Indonesia. Okay? Now, for documentation, ito yung mga nangyari during deployment in our local partner schools. Ito yung deployment orientation or deployment of the Practicum students at SIR Elementary School. And di ba kanina during the parang yung background of what is Practicum all about, one of the things doon is ancillary services or other programs na pwede or activities na pwede pa nimo buhaton. Oh, and that includes things like this or events like this. This is the MAPI Day at Vicenta C. Negrales National High School, and the students, the student teachers actually participated during the program. Meron din silang intermission number, no? And they also they were the ones who also guided the students during their practice, for their presentation, for the parang formulation of this one, yung mga props nila, no, and costumes nila. So sila din yung tumulong, the student teachers din. Okay? And then of course, before you will be deployed, before you start your actual teaching, no, doon sa partner schools nyo, you will have a deployment orientation at your respective assigned schools. So for example, here, these are the assigned students at SIR Elementary School, and their OJT coordinator will be conducting their deployment orientation for the students, the students, UMCTE students, to be aware of the guidelines, no, the rules and regulations, the policies of the school. Ano yung mga dapat di gawin, mga dapat gawin, ano yung mga dapat nila i-consider. Okay, so yan yung deployment orientation, nangyayari for deployment orientation. And I've mentioned this one earlier, yung pre-deployment seminar. So before you will be deployed dito sa schools nyo, dito muna sa this is, I think, parang this was held in AVR 1 in Bolton. Ito yung pre-deployment seminar. And the pre-deployment seminar, that includes yung GAD or Gender and Development seminar, and the Child Protection Policy seminar. So very important na bantog. That's why we always include that in our pre-deployment seminar, kanang child protection policy, because you're not allowed to kanang no kusiun lang nimo ang bata kay nasuko ka, so dili na pwede, because they are actually protected with that policy, with that law. Okay, and then we also conduct lesson planning and teaching strategy seminar for you to be refreshed with all the different types of lesson plans that you will be using once you will be assigned to the partner school. And then at the same time, because of now we are transitioning into to online classes, we also include netiquettes, or the etiquettes that you need to consider in using the net. Kaya siya tinawag na netiquettes, no? Ano yung mga do's and don'ts in conducting online classes. Okay, so yan yung included during the pre-deployment seminar. Okay, and then for the partner schools naman natin, international, kanina na-mention ko na yung 5 schools natin na partner schools natin from Indonesia. These are actually the proof, no? These are the latest na the second batch for the CTE na we received inbound students from Indonesia. So the first batch, hindi ko lang na-include dito sa picture. The first batch, we received 5 students from Indonesia. And the second, 3 students pala. We sent 5 and then we received 3. For the second batch, we received 4. Ito yun sila, itong nakaupo. These are Indonesian students, no? Mura lang po mga Pinoy, no? Ang ilahang nawong. We received 4 Indonesian students, and we also sent 11 students, UMCTE students to Indonesia, to the different partner schools, yung 5. So mayroon doon na 3 sila in one school, the rest, tigda 2 na. Okay, kasi dapat buddy-buddy. Okay, so when we receive the 4, ito yung 1, 2, 3, ito pala, 3, 4 na students. These are the 4 inbound students from Indonesia. We actually visited the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia together with the program head that time, Dr. Palma, and the assistant dean that time, Sir Phil. And the dean of the college here, si Dean Jocelyn Bacasmot, and yours truly, ito ako sa side. So we visited the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia. And during the visit, siguro kay nalingaw pag-ayo si Consulate General, he actually invited us to one of his events in Dusit Thani. Oh, social kayo. In Dusit Thani. And we were able to meet a lot of different peoples and know more about the culture of Indonesia, and at the same time taste their cuisine, no? Kay ako ang students, this one, the inbound students, they when we had our breakfast one time, ano sila na, "Ma'am, you have to try this." Ano siya. Then I asked them, "Oh, is this spicy?" Sabi niya na, "No, no, ma'am, only a little." Ano siya. Sus, pagtilaw na ko, asa ba'y alitel, hastang halanga, no? And you'll be able to experience those things. Even those mga outbound students natin, yung 11, they have the same impression na halang juday ang ilahang, no? Very spicy jud ang ilahang food dito, and you'll get the taste of that, no? You'll be able to experience ang ilahang culture and ang ilahang food as well. So we welcome the CTE faculty members, ito na sa likod, welcome the Indonesian students during the program, yung during the welcoming program. And then we also deployed them, since dalawa sa kanila, isa pala ito, is an elementary student. So we deployed her in the SIR elementary school, and the rest were deployed, yung 3, ito, at saka ito, yung mga Indonesian students were deployed in Davao City National High School. And we actually observed one of the classes in the basic education. Last time, si Ma'am Charm, who will be talking later or speaking later, noon, she was assigned in the basic education of the University of Mindanao, and yung class niya yung inobserbahan namin when we had the inbound students from Indonesia. Okay? And then these are the outbound students. Ito yung mga no? Morning mga outbound students from the University of Mindanao College of Teacher Education. Now, maybe you're wondering, Ma'am, sabi mo 11 yung latest na pinadala ninyo. Tapos bakit 10 lang dito? Yung isa hindi pa nakauwi during the pictorial. So, I cannot recall individually kung asa sila na assign, where are their parang assigned schools in Indonesia, but parang 3 sila, parang undik siya ito sila, Bali. I can recall na Bali ito sila, kasi sabi nila nakapunta na daw sila doon sa parang spot talaga, yung landmark doon. And then, ito yung before the departure to Indonesia. Pagbalik nila, bumili silang lahat ng mga clothes, no? Souvenirs from Indonesia. Kaya parang mga Indonesian na silang lahat dito. That's during the culmination activity after the deployment in Indonesia. So, you will have the chance to experience, for these students, 11 students, we were able to parang shoulder their insurance, to shoulder the processing of their documents, and as well as they were given allowance during their stay. So parang ang na-shoulder lang nila during that time was actually the airfare lang alone. Kasi even the accommodation na na accommodation nila doon sa Indonesia, that will be shouldered by the partner school. So parang yun lang talaga yung majority. And the University of Mindanao is very generous in giving allowance during their entire deployment program. So parang yung ano nila is, yung ano na lang talaga, airfare. The rest, kasi kung ikaw yung receiving school, you will also kanang parang shoulder the accommodation of your inbound students. So in our case, sa University of Mindanao CTE, if you can recall, itong apat na ito, they were also given accommodation care of the University of Mindanao. So the University of Mindanao also paid for the accommodation of all these inbound students. Kasi yung outbound din natin, ang nag-shoulder ng accommodation was our partner schools. And that's the good thing about partnership, no? You can really meet in the middle na ay mga ano. And then, look at this one. They were able to experience, ito yung mga students natin, ito yung mga Indonesian partners natin. They were able to experience different events and activities doon. And they were able to attend the international conference in Indonesia. Okay, so ito yung mga engagements nila. And this one also, deployment in UNISDA. This one is my very good friend, no, na nagkita din kami sa Thailand during sa evaluation meeting. So yung mga OJT coordinators din, no, na we talk about a lot of things, exchange a lot of information. Now they are actually inviting us to participate in their summer lecture classes. So parang ganon. So it's really a give and take relationship. So ikaw, you will experience. And ito, another thing, no? Andito ba yun na picture? Wala. Ito silang dalawa actually. Ito, si Jeremy and si Von were actually featured in one of the local news doon sa Indonesia. So in-interview sila regarding their experience. Murag, kumbaga ang equivalent dito sa atin is parang yung GMA or ABS-CBN local news, so, yung sa local na media. And they were interviewed and then they gave their comments, they gave their impressions about the exchange program. So yun yung nangyari sa kanila and yun yung unforgettable experience daw nila. Okay? And then if you will be an outbound student, ito from ito siya. If you will be an outbound student from the University of Mindanao College of Teacher Education, you will also be doing your classroom demonstration doon sa ibang bansa, sa kung saan ka na-assign. So, for example, sa Indonesia, doon din siya demonstration or nag-conduct ng kanyang classroom demonstration. Because you will not be deployed in the same university kung sino yung nag-receive sa'yo. You will be deployed doon sa partner din nila na local school. So for example, sa University of Mindanao, yung tinanggap natin, dineploy natin sa Davao City National High School. So same sa kanila, this is their local partner ng university nila. And this is our student, no, from the University of Mindanao. And also this one, ito, silang dalawa. Student din natin. Ito yung nahuli sa picture. Okay? Kasi yung, niya, yung flight niya. Pero doon na sa domestic na flight, di sa international, sa domestic na. Then the rest, ito na yung mga teachers, no, who guided them throughout their journey. Okay, and they were also given parang farewell party, so they got the chance to wear their national costume, and at the same time they were featured in one of the school papers, no, of the university. So ito yung mga na-experience ng ating mga outbound students from the University of Mindanao. 11 silang lahat. Okay, if you also want to experience that, okay, you can enroll for the practicum. So you will have, if you would opt to have that C teacher project or enroll for the C teacher project, you will be having the same format. If local lang din naman, pwede rin naman, no? You will follow the same phases. So we have three major practicum phases that we need to follow. Number one is pre-deployment, number two is deployment, and last is the post-deployment. So I've mentioned already the pre-deployment in the previous slides, no? That includes the orientation on the requirements sa college na level, because in the college level, we have due diligence, no? You need to submit a lot of, you need to submit necessary documents like parents' consent, yung mga ganon, no? And test, no? Parang ganon. And then there are requirements that you need to complete. And then pre-deployment orientation as well, which will be given by the College of Teacher Education. So we will be discussing about the grading system and everything, no? Na what are the steps, what are the things that you have to consider before you will be deployed. And of course, kanina na-mention ko ang pre-deployment seminars. That includes the Gender and Development Seminar, that includes the Child Protection Policy na seminar, which is very important, and lesson planning, teaching strategies, the lesson plan, na seminar, and at the same time, yung netiquettes or etiquettes during your deployment. Okay? And then during the deployment naman, that's already the actual teaching. You will be conducting demonstrations na, and you will be preparing lesson plans and instructional aid, no? Or instructional materials, and then you will also prepare and conduct assessments to your students. So ito yung parang entire parang yung malaking portion of the entire practicum course mo dito sa deployment. And you can have, for the outbound students natin, yung 11 na pumunta sa Indonesia, they were also able to experience the yung local na partnership. So half of their demonstrations were conducted here in Davao City and half were conducted doon sa Indonesia. Okay, so yun yung nangyari sa deployment nila. And then after the deployment, of course, is the post-deployment. So we have the post-deployment program. Now we will be inviting all the partner schools, the OJT coordinators and the principals of the partner schools, and then give their feedback, no, listen to their feedback, and parang doon din sa post-deployment ang parang sharing of all the experiences and their journey. So nadit na mga videos na mga kaagi na tong tanan ana, no, na malingaw pud ka because di ba nakaagi kag mga ingnani. Okay, and then at the same time, the last part of the post-deployment to end the entire practicum course is for you to submit your teaching manual together with your portfolio. So, andoon sa portfolio, lahat ng pictures, lahat ng documentation, important documents, pertinent documents that you need to include, no, that you have gathered all throughout your practicum journey. So, doon din siya ilalagay sa portfolio nyo. So, that's the entire pre-deployment, that's the entire practicum journey or practicum phases. We have pre-deployment, deployment, and post-deployment. So you can be deployed either locally or abroad, okay, if you will join the C Teacher project. Okay, so thank you so much. I think that's it, Sir Bench, for my presentation. Stop share ko na ba?
Oh, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Discussing about teacher education best version. So let's go to the next session. Career planning and the teaching protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, the program head, parliamentary program of the College of Teacher Education, Prof. Charmaine B. Ma'am.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I'm going to share my screen as well to talk to you about the career profession of teacher education. Okay na po?
Iba po yung nakikita namin, ma'am.
Ay, wait lang. Ay, ito.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay na siya. Wait lang ha. Okay. So, before I present to you for a while, before I present to you my presentation, I would like to show to you some of the outputs of our students from the College of Teacher Education. Wait lang ha. Wait lang. Okay.
I think you have to click the share sound in the share,
Okay, so career planning and teaching profession. So here you can see different pictures that we or every single person dreams of. A home, a big happy family, own business, the chance to travel, local and abroad, a baby, of course, to have our own family. Okay, so how do we achieve these dreams of us, of ours? So what do you plan? What are your plans in your life? Diba? So every one of us, in each age bracket that we are in, all of us have its own life plan. So we have to set our goals, our milestones, and we do have our action plan. So how do we do these things? How do we think of this? So with joining teacher education, you will be able to learn different skills, learn different or learn new things that would be able to help you achieve your dreams and your goals in life. So our career, if you would join the teacher education and be like us, educators, you would be able to help every child reach their dreams, hone their potentials, as well as develop their skills that they have in them. So why should I pursue a career in education? I will be sharing to you three main points, okay, on why would you choose teacher education. First, we have our job security. Next, we have our benefit. And third, you would be able to teach what you love. Okay? For job security, of course, every job that we have, everything that we do, we do start at the beginning. Okay? So there's a ladder of success in everything that we do. First, as a teacher, when you graduate, when you take the board examination, and eventually pass the board examination, you would be able to apply for a teaching job. And then when you get hired, you would start teaching. And that first year of teaching, you would be able to learn um, different areas in teaching, such as adaptability. How would you be able to adapt in the school that you've applied, whether public or private school? You would be able to learn how to deal with different students. You would be able to be mentored with the teachers that are already distinguished. And then by the years go by, you would climb up the ladder together with your co-teachers. With the help of them, you would become a proficient teacher. And then to be able to become a proficient teacher, you would continue to learn. So you would continue on studying, continue on learning new things, continue on attending seminars and trainings for you to be able to be a proficient teacher. And then in teaching, there's no stop in learning. We continue to learn every day. We continue to learn with our students. We continue to learn from our students, from our mentors, from our head teachers. Okay, everyone that is around you would help you to become a distinguished teacher someday. Okay, so we also have these Philippine professional standards for teachers in which we follow it so that we would be able to climb that ladder of success slowly but surely. Now, when you apply for a teacher, of course, we have this position and rank. Newly hired teachers in the Department of Education would enter as teacher one. And then eventually, when you have your own you have your performance. Kasi every year, each teacher will be evaluated according to their performance for the school year. And then if you were able to show your heads or your principal that you have been an effective teacher to your students as well as to your school, eventually your rank would move up. Okay. Once you become a or earned your master's degree, you can be a teacher three. Okay, so there's a step involved in every position and in every rank that the Department of Education offers to every teacher that is in their school. Okay, so from teacher T1, T2, T3, you can eventually move up to becoming a master teacher. There's still three ranks: teacher, master teacher one, two, and three. Okay, right now I have a classmate who is already a master teacher one. Okay, so usually most of my classmates, I graduated 2010, and then we took the board examination at 2000 in 2011. So most of my batchmates are already in T3 because we opted to continue on learning, continue on studying, so that our growth in the education would continue. Okay? And then we also have levels for the administrative position in which you could be a head teacher and a school head eventually. That is principal 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these position, these ranks also have its equivalent pay. Okay, we also have different salary grades that is being offered to each position and rank for each teacher. So I'm going to show to you the different compensation that a teacher receives according to their rank. Okay, as mentioned earlier, later on, I would be able to discuss yung increments na binibigay for DepEd teachers. Okay? So for T1, ito yung kanilang entry level. You will be able to receive 23,877 as your entry level salary. So lahat ng bagong pasok ng teacher, once they receive their item, their monthly pay would be 23,877, and then it moves up according to your rank. Okay? So when you get promoted, yung promotion, it is yung teachers do apply for it with their credentials as well as everything that is being required for them to be submitted. They need to submit for evaluation so that they would be qualified for a promotion. Okay? So the highest paid would be the principal 4, which is 68,000 plus. Okay. Aside from this positions, we also have district supervisor, education supervisor 1, and the schools division superintendent. So eventually, if you would be able to be one of the distinguished teachers, you can apply for a promotion. By the way, for the principal level, there's an examination for principals to be taken, and then it is done yearly. Those who are qualified can take the examination, and from there, it is also being ranked on who will be given the position. Now, other benefits, each teacher in the Department of Education has 6 hours of teaching hours. Okay? Though they need to stay in the school for 8 hours, pero yung teaching nila doon is just 6 hours. Okay. And then if they have their overtime, it is equivalent to 25% of their basic salary. Now, salary increment after 3 years. So, every 3 years, merong salary increase. Meron silang step 1, step 2, step 3. Until you would be able to reach your next rank. Okay? Cost of living allowance. It would depend on saan ka nakatira. Okay? Kung nasa city ka, parang ima-match yung cost of living, yung allowance mo is based on where you are living. Next is special hardship allowance, or what we call the hazard pay. That is 25% of your monthly salary. Next, they also have free medical examination and treatment. Another is compensation for injuries. For example, meron kayong malaking program, tapos nagkabit kayo ng mga banners or ano, tapos may nahulog, na-injured. Yan. So, you can also receive a compensation for that. Study leave, you can apply for a study leave and still receive 60% of your monthly salary. Indefinite leave, for example, nagkasakit ka, you can file an indefinite leave and it would be granted for you. Salary increase upon retirement. Once you retire as a public school teacher, kunyari, nag-retire ka as principal 1. Once you retired, yung computation ng iyong pension would be 1 rank higher. So yung computation niyan would be yung salary ng principal 2. So that's the benefits for the DepEd school teachers. Now, what if you decided na mag-public school teachers? It would depend on you. If you choose to work in a private school, it would also be your own decision kung magpa-public school teacher ka. Okay? Another benefits, you can have study grants, scholarships, and fellowships. Additional leave grants for women, of course, we can have our maternity leave. For fathers, they can have their paternity leave. And then we also have our teachers leave and 2 months long summer vacation. Okay? Sabi nga nila, kahit daw summer, yung mga teachers, tumatanggap pa rin ng sweldo. But then, ang masisipag na teachers, marami pa rin ginagawa, even if summer vacation. Isa pa dyan, pag walang klase, pag holiday, walang estudyante, wala ding trabaho si teacher sa school. Okay? But then, we teachers would always think of our students, even if we have different leaves, we have marami tayong leave, but then students come first. Minsan nga kahit may sakit si teacher, kahit masakit yung ulo or may mga nararamdaman, paano yung mga estudyante ko, sino magtuturo sa kanila? Okay? So, pumapasok talaga yan sa isip natin. Kahit pa marami tayong leave na pwedeng gamitin, but then we will always think about our students. Okay? So, other benefits, so 'di ba? Ang dami-daming benefits as a public school teacher. So, public school teachers enjoy a clothing and uniform allowance for 6,000 pesos. They have mid-year bonus and year-end bonus, which is equivalent to their 1-month basic salary. They also have their cash gift, that's 5,000 pesos. They also have their productivity enhancement incentive, or the PEI, which is 5,000 per year. They also have their performance-based bonus, which ranges from 50 to 65% of their basic monthly salary. They also have proportional vacation pay. So they have 70 days. They also have their cash or chalk allowance. Before, they have their 3,500 per year per teacher. But then, since ngayon, school year 2021-2022, it would increase to 5,000 pesos. And eventually, it would continue to increase as years go by. Okay? So these are Another benefits from DepEd teachers. Now, we have different careers in education. Okay? It would depend to you on which career in education would you like. If you want to be an art teacher, you can do so. If you want to be a biology teacher, why not? College professor, elementary school teacher, math teacher, music teacher. You could also be a principal if you want to, a school administrator. Okay? There are different careers in education. Since we have so many schools here in our country, you can apply to different schools that you would like. Okay, go where your hearts tell you. Um, you can also be a researcher if you choose to have a career in education. Okay. Employability skills, according to Leole in 2015, those who enroll to teacher education and graduate in these programs are still described as moderately skilled in their employability skills, meaning while learning in the College of Education, you will be able to, or you were able to develop different skills that you can bring as with you when you start working. These skills includes written communication, oral communication, analyzing, planning, and organizing. Especially with planning and organizing, as a teacher, we really need that skill because we never run out of activities in school. Every month, we do have activities that we need to plan and organize for our students. That is why it is one of the skills that we need to have in order for us to be able to produce a program or an event for our students. Another study is that it is stated that there are other professions who eventually shifted to become a teacher. Okay? There are nurses who opted to become a teacher. There are also accountants, even engineers who opted to become a teacher other than um, doing their own professions. Okay, so these numbers show you that there are the numbers of professionals that shifted from their profession to being a teacher. Okay. Same goes with this table. It also shows the factors in taking the diploma in professional education. Okay? Economic stability, professional enhancement, passion for teaching, personal growth, professional development, and family influence. Okay? Basically, nandyan talaga yung economic stability because in teaching, it really is a stable job. Okay? So why UM? Okay. Of course, as stated earlier by Ma'am Yula, we do offer exchange students for practicum. Okay? We have different partner schools in Southeast Asia. So these are some of our students as shown earlier by Ma'am Yula. Another is that we do produce students who compete in different competition, such as our interbranch expression skills. These students are our representatives for our interbranch expression skills competition. Okay. So during the 69th online literary musical competition, the College of Teacher Education was the overall champion. Okay? So these are our winners. These are our students who participated in the online literary musical competition. So these are some of their outputs. See how creative our students are. Even the poster, these are electronic poster making competition participated by our students. And of course, I think these are the output of some of the English majors in which they were able to produce a dictionary in the mother tongue. Okay. Of course, the school paper. These are written by some of our students. This is the recent issue of our Gazette, Generation Gazette. Okay. So in the College of Education, there are also different organizations that would help you, that would guide you, especially if you are still in the first year. There are peer tutorials that help students catch up with their performances in school. So every organization, depending on its major, has their own study group. Okay, they help each other. So every major, so we have 8 different programs here in the College of Teacher Education. So each program has its own organization to help each student, as well as do different activities and events for its members. So these are the programs that we offer in the College of Teacher Education. We have Bachelor of Elementary Education, Bachelor of Early Childhood Education. This covers early childhood from preschool to grade 3. Bachelor of Special Needs Education, major in elementary school teaching. So these are SPED students that are in the elementary level. And then Bachelor of Special Needs Education, major in early childhood education. Bachelor in Physical Education, Bachelor in Secondary Education, major in Biological Science, major in Math, Mathematics, English, Filipino, Social Studies, and Science. Okay, so these are the different programs that the College of Teacher Education offers right now. So you can choose from the different programs kung saan nyo napupusuan nyo. If you want to teach elementary students, you can enroll to Bachelor of Elementary Education. If you want to teach younger children from the preschool, we have early childhood education. We also have programs for the students with special needs. And then, of course, we also have programs for the secondary education. And remember, if you want to teach um, elementary, but you enrolled or you finish secondary education, you may do so. But vice versa, if you've graduated elementary and then you wish to teach high school, I'm afraid that you cannot do that one. Okay? Because we are trained to teach younger children, so we will be able to focus our teaching job or teaching elementary students. Okay? Of course, College of Teacher Education is a recipient of Center of Excellence. This refers to a department within the higher education institution which continuously demonstrate performance in the areas of instruction, research and publication, extension and linkages, and institutional qualifications. Okay? We also are level 4 accredited by the PACOA, meaning our teaching, a way of teaching is comparable and similar to the programs in excellent foreign universities. And of course, we were able to produce 103 top-notchers, as mentioned by Sir Ray earlier. Our college is one of the top colleges who produce numbers, top notchers from the board examination. So if you want to be the 104th or 105th top notcher, join us, join the Teacher of College Education, and we will be able to help you develop your skills, develop your potential in teaching our the future of our society. So that would be all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Charm.
Welcome po.
That was Ma'am Charmaine Banyes, no? Discussing on career planning in the teaching profession. So guys, what are you waiting for? So be part, no, of the College of Teacher Education. In order for you to be trained, no, and be able to really, get the career that you want to, especially in the teacher education, so you have to enroll, no, in the University of Mindanao. All right. Okay, so there's a question here, ma'am. Ma'am Sha,
Yes po.
may BSNPLE po ba? No, ang UM.
Sorry to say, but we don't offer TLE. Because right now we do not have a faculty who is majored in TLE.
But then you can, no, you can have or choose other major, no, in the
Yes po.
BSN program. Madami naman ng BSN programs in UM.
Yes.
Right? So thank you very much again, Ma'am Charm and Ma'am
Welcome
Julie,
po.
for your time on joining our webinar this morning and to give us more about UM, what's in UM. So again, the Vice President for External Relations, International Affairs, Dr. Rinaldo C. Castro.
Thank you very much again, Benji. And good morning again to our senior high students. You're still there, right? So I'll be sharing to you reasons why you should choose University of Mindanao, especially if you want to pursue Bachelor of Science in education-related courses like secondary education or elementary education. Now, UM is there's a tagline in UM, no, the first in leadership education. Why we're the first? Because we're the first university in Region 11. We have many firsts, no? First to be accredited, first to offer some of our programs here in the university. But the nice thing is that we're not only higher education, but we're university, no? And we have quality, affordable, and open education. Let me discuss each one, no? About quality, about affordability, and about being an open education. We're leading private institution in the region, no? As I said that we're the first to be granted university in the 1950s, no? And we have so many accreditation, quality accreditation, and we are also the first to be granted an ISO certification. No, we're the first to get an ISO 2008 and 2015 version. Although there are many universities now in Davao City and even in other parts of the Region 11 with ISO certification, but we are the first. No, we were very courageous enough to pursue this. No, we're also accredited by PACOCOA, and we are number 2 in the Philippines. No, the number 1 school in the Philippines with the most number of accreditation is University of Santo Tomas. You know, University of Santo Tomas, no? It's the oldest university in the country. It has been existed for more than 400 years, no? And after UST is the University of Mindanao. Okay, so you see, aren't you be proud that if you will enroll in UM, we have all these recognitions. Top-notch universities in Metro Manila have these recognitions, autonomous, no? And yeah, that's one. We're also autonomous. There are more than 2,000 plus colleges and universities in the country, and the Commission on Higher Education has granted 70 universities an autonomous status, no? And in the Philippines, ang pinakamataas na pwede maibigay ng CHED is autonomous. Ibig sabihin nun, pag may autonomous status ka, no, na binigay ng CHED, magaling ka talaga na eskwelahan, magaling ka talaga na higher education institution. Now in Region 11 there are only 4. Okay, 4 lang ang binigyan ng CHED ng autonomous, 3 sa Davao City at isa niyan ang Tagum College, no? And isa niyan of course is University of Mindanao, all right? So ako I suggest if you will not enroll in then if you consider other universities, then tingnan ninyo kung meron silang autonomous status, no? And ang ating teacher education in UM is also Center of Excellence. Now, in Region 11, dalawa lang ang binigyan ng CHED. I mean, tatlo pala, no? Tatlo lang ang binigyan ng CHED ng Center of Excellence sa teacher education. Alright? Isa dyan ang University of Mindanao. So, kung mag-aral kayo ng teacher education, tingnan ninyo ngayon kung hindi kayo sa UM or isa ang UM sa options ninyo, meron kayong mga listahan, tingnan ninyo, senior high school students, kung ano pa ang mga eskwelahan na Center of Excellence sa teacher education. Kasi pag Center of Excellence yan, ibig sabihin, magaling talaga yan sa teacher education and you have higher chances of passing in the board exam. Okay? Flexible schedule through our term system. Anong ibig sabihin yan? 'Di ba sa inyo sa senior high school meron kayong 8 or 10 subjects, no? And you see you have experience attending classes 10 subjects at a time. Sa college, ang isang taon is divided into 2 semesters. In one semester, there are 5 months. And in one semester with 5 months, in most cases, you are going to enroll 10 subjects also. Okay? So may 10 kayong subjects. Sa UM, one semester is divided into 2 terms. So 5 months, kung 2 terms yan, one term is equivalent to 2.5 months. In 2.5 months, you will only have 5 subjects. Okay? In other universities, in other higher education institutions, you'll have one semester and 10 subjects at a time. So, saan ngayon ang mas mahirap? 'Di ba yung 10 subjects compared doon sa 5 subjects? In the first 2.5 months, you will only concentrate 5 subjects. Another 2.5 months, another 5 subjects. Also, you can select your own schedule, no? We have morning session, afternoon session, or evening session. So if you want to concentrate on one session, like in the morning, you can start your classes at 8 o'clock and ends at 12. You are free in the afternoon and in the evening. Or you can enroll in the afternoon session. You are free in the morning. You can start your classes in the afternoon at 1:30 and ends at 5:30. Or you can enroll in the evening session. You are free in the morning and in the afternoon. And while you are enrolled in the evening, you can start your classes at 5:30 and ends at 9:30. What is the advantage there? Well, if you want to be working students, then you can work. All right. We have many students in the university who are working. Or if you want to concentrate, study, you want to have more time to study, you can do that. All right. Okay. You know, UM is a private university. It's a private institution, it's a university, but we have the most affordable, no, tuition and miscellaneous fees, no. You will only like pay not more than 20,000 in a semester, and it's a university and it's a private university, and we have advanced facilities. In fact, we have the widest campus, no? We have a 28-hectare campus. If you will enroll in teacher education, you'll find a wide campus that's 28 hectares, no, in our Matina area. If you will enroll in teacher education, that's where the campus of the teacher education is located, and you'll see many buildings there in our Matina area. All right, you cannot find that in other universities here in Davao City if you will enroll, if you decide to enroll in Davao City. So once the face-to-face classes will resume, no, and if you will be allowed by the government to do that, and if our situation will be safe, no, so you will see our campus. Okay. We have more than 100 undergraduate and graduate programs. So we have many majors in teacher education, and that makes our learning environment in the university uh, more varied, no? Okay? That's why our enrollment, our students, we have more than 25,000 students in a regular semester. So you will see prior to pandemic, no? For if you have friends who are already enrolled in UM, you can ask them, no? You can see so many students in the University of Mindanao. Oh. And the nice thing, if there are more students in the university, in a higher education institution, the university can spend, no, can invest much in the faculty and in the facilities. Kasi maraming estudyante eh. So we can retain our good faculty in the university. We can spend for better facilities, no? And you see in UM, we have a separate building for our library. In the campus, no, meron din tayong makitang mga ikot, parang UP, no? Merong sasakyan and it's free for our students, no? If you want to transfer from one building to another building, meron kayong makita, meron kayong sasakyan, no, provided by the university, no? And we have a separate canteen, okay? Separate building for almost each college, no, in the university. And in the university, we also don't have any uniform. Okay, no uniform for our students. And then we have our LMS, Learning Management System. For the college, for the tertiary level, we have Blackboard. And Blackboard is a global LMS, no? Wherever you go in other countries, they are using Blackboard. It's very efficient. For our basic education, we are using Quipper. So what I'm trying to say is that UM is really prepared for the pandemic. No, we continue to provide quality and standard education. We don't compromise quality and standard, despite the fact that there is no face-to-face classes. Okay, and we are open education. So I already mentioned that we have no uniform in the university, and we accept anybody, no, regardless of your socio-economic background, and we don't give entrance exam. So you see other universities and other schools, they already follow our practice of no entrance exam. Even prior to pandemic, we don't give entrance exam because we believe that we should not judge your chances, your privilege, no, and your ambition of getting an education, getting a degree based only on one-time examination. Okay, so that's why if you wish to enroll in the university, you only have to prepare your requirements for enrollment, and that's it. No, very easy to enroll in the University of Mindanao. Okay, we have produced more than 100, actually it's more than 150 top notchers since 2014, no? And you see our president in the University of Mindanao, the one wearing eyeglasses, is being flanked by these students. They are our top notchers, no? They placed in the different licensure exam, and they are showing their envelope. What is that envelope? In UM, I think it was mentioned, no, that if you top the board exam, just like Professor Busbus, no, she topped the board exam, you are going to receive cash incentive, no, as much as tama ba 500,000, 500,000, no, and not only that, no, you will be offered jobs, no. I-offeran ka ng job sa UM. Pag wala ka pa trabaho, then magtrabaho ka sa UM, so may trabaho ka na. And then once nasa UM ka, bigyan ka rin ng university ng scholarship for you to pursue master's program, master's degree. O di ba? So, merong ganong incentive. So, if you think that you can top the board exam, then why not enroll in the University of Mindanao? All right? You can be assured that choosing UM will be the best decision you will ever make because we are doing our best to provide you quality, affordable, and open education. Come to think of that, we are a private university, but our tuition is very affordable and we can offer you quality, no, world-class education. So yan talaga ang world-class, no? Kasi university siya, we have many certifications, no? Proof of our being world-class. Hindi lang kami nag-claim na world-class pero wala naman ebidensya. Okay? All right. So, our advance congratulations on your graduation day, senior high school students. So, if you have question, you can type your question in our chat box and we will try to respond to that. No? So, with that, thank you very much for listening, for watching. Again, we continue to pray that we will get through this. And again, I'm inviting you to continue to follow our Facebook and our YouTube channel. And we will be having an orientation for incoming freshmen for those who are interested to enroll in UM on July 6 and 8. You just register, so that we can send you the link. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Ray. And that's it, guys. So thank you very much for your participation. And before we will end our program, so we would like to say thank you to this different school who joined our last webinar session or immersion webinar this month. Okay, we have St. Mary's Academy of Minsayap, Federico Yap National High School, University of Mindanao, Tacorong National High School, Holy Cross of Mintal, Jose Maria College, Tugbok National High School, Takurong, Siluam ABC Learning Center Incorporated, St. Mary's College of Tagum, Tagakpan Senior High School, Mindanao State University Senior High School, Mati Comprehensive National High School, and also Ozamis City National High School. So we were thank you so much for participating and joining our immersion webinar on this morning. And also, we would like again to invite you on our remote virtual orientation for incoming freshmen. If you want, you have the plans to enroll in the University of Mindanao this coming July 6 and 8, 2021. So you just have to go to the website, the Facebook page of UM, and then you find your browse, and then you'll be able to see this poster, and then nandun yung link for the registration. Okay, so limited slots lang ito, so please grab the chance in order for you to be able to know ano yung mga process for the enrollment and other topics na i-discuss during this day. Alright, and for today, a webinar, please click the link that I have posted sa YouTube at saka dito sa Zoom ngayon. You click that link so that you can evaluate our webinar this morning, and we'll be able to also send the certificate of participation for this webinar. Alright. So again, say congratulations or advance congratulations on your graduation day. And for you to be updated sa mga posts and events and announcement of the University of Mindanao. So please follow, like, subscribe our different social media platforms. University of Mindanao official page for the Facebook, the University of Mindanao official para sa aming YouTube channel, at UM Davao official for the Twitter account, and also at UMindanao for the Instagram. And you can check also details, announcement to www.umindanao.edu.ph. Again, we say thank you to the principals, program heads, career advocates of the senior high school from the different school. You've supported us all throughout our webinar session from the very beginning until now sa last natin na immersion program. So again, we say thank you, God bless, and